So what happens if you want to go ahead and play Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, or Game Boy games on your Nintendo GameCube? Well, 9 times out of 10, you're going to use a GameCube controller. But what if there was something better for you? Well, in the past, there has been. The team over at Hori made this here. This is their digital controller designed for the Game Boy player and the GameCube that gives you more of a Super Nintendo style layout. And I have one. It's great. It's fantastic. It's stupid expensive now. I paid about $100 for this 4 years ago at least. They're now selling for over $200. But our friends over at Retro-bit, along with Castlemania Ryan at CastlemaniaGames.com, well, they dropped a bit of a bombshell today. Here's what Ryan himself posted: the LegacyGC Wired Pro controller. And this was posted on January the 11th. And then kind of looking through here too, then a little bit later on, Retro-bit did put out their own little press release tweet on here too. This is called the LegacyGC for the GameCube. A legendary controller layout comes to Retro-bit. Learn more and pre-order only at Castlemania Ryan. That tells me that this indeed is going to be exclusive to CastlemaniaGames.com. So something to be aware of here. Taking a look at the product page itself, here's one of the coolest things. It is $20. You can't beat that with a stick. Taking a look here, we do have black, and then there is the indigo color as well. Now, looking at the Retro-bit version versus what I have here, let's go here. If you look at this part here, the mold is completely filled in versus the original Hori unit that I have here. This is opened up kind of like a Super Nintendo controller is. So I wonder if they didn't tweak the mold just to make sure that they didn't get into any issues with Hori or anything along those lines. But let's keep looking at what we have here. It does have the Jelly Bean style X and Y buttons, the larger A and B. Now up here we do have a button there and there as well, which we'll find out more about here in just a moment. There you can kind of see the side profile. D-pad looks really good. There is a head-on shot of it with the Retro-bit logo. There again, you can kind of see how they filled in that area on the controller. On the top, we also have, come here, we have ZR and ZL, which is very interesting, along with the R and the L on the LegacyGC. You know, same basic thing there on the purple one. A little bit of a profile shot there. Now, here's some things just to share with you. The Legacy arrives to bring a classic feel to your GameCube and the Wii. So this will be compatible with Nintendo Wiis that do have those GameCube ports. Now, the Wii Mini, obviously that does not, and then later versions of the Nintendo Wii also omitted those as well. But this does work with the GameCube and the Wii. This updated version of our controller has familiar button layout, comfortable D-pad, and the addition of turbo functionality, so you can go ahead and do turbo functions on here too. The shoulder buttons now utilize both digital and analog inputs to allow for functionality across most titles. Players can also change the D-pad to function as the analog or C-stick as needed. The comfortable grip accompanies a 10-foot, 3-meter length cable to allow for gaming in almost any play areas. Again, compatible with the GameCube and the Wii. Macros allow the D-pad to function as an analog stick or a C-stick. 10-foot long cable length, and then the built-in turbo. All available through CastlemaniaGames.com. Now, a lot of times with pre-orders like this, and we don't have an ETA as far as when this is shipping, any promo codes and things along those lines don't necessarily work. You can always try promo code ROCKSOLID10. That'll save you 10% off of most items on the website. I do want to thank Ryan for sending out or sharing that promo code with all of our customers. Oh, here we go. Estimated ship January 2023. If the date is the past, check the support page. Stock is inbound and should be here by January the 20th. Now, I have reached out to Retro-bit, And we are on the slate to go ahead and get our hands on one of these to review and test out. And the fact that I do have one of the originals to compare it to, I'm really interested to see how this and the LegacyGC compare to each other. Now, I have tested other, I don't want to call them knockoffs, but other clones of this controller that have been okay. The weak spot seems to always be the D-pad on these, though. And in the past, I have really liked what Retro-bit does with their D-pad. So I am excited to test out the LegacyGC on my GameCube using the component video cables from Retro-bit, as well as what you're seeing play behind me. They are awesome. I love the Prism component video cables. I love the Prism HDMI adapter as well. Now, you do need to have that digital video output on it. Now, if you do want to learn more about either of those, I will have those videos coming up for you in this little thumbnail right here for you to go ahead and check out, because, man, Retro-bit makes some really cool stuff for the GameCube.